They throw me out at home. Why? Not me, but maybe your internet connection. And what is the reason for that? We show you in this Ask Ellie video. Hello and welcome to our video. There's a problem with an internet connection and you cannot get any access to websites or specific connections to systems. That's the reason why I explain you in this video could be the root cause in your internet connection. Let's have a look at the topology of the network. I've prepared something for you, but don't worry, I have some graphics that are closer to read. Basically, the internet consists out of a core internet, which is done by the biggest media concerns like Meta, YouTube, Amazon and other big global players that have data center all around the world. In this data center you can find powerful servers with a high capacity of storage on SSD hard disks. The devices are connected among each other with fiberglass, and this is led through the whole world, even over mountains and underwater, to have the fastest connection between the data center. Along on every data center there is a provider level. The provider has a direct connection to this kind of core internet and basically it belongs together. You can find multiple explanation videos on YouTube that explain you how these data centers are connected and how people are serving your request with a video, for example. Like this video is also coming out of a data center. And why will this happen? So if you are connected to a provider, you have an access server where the provider will also grant you access to, for example, mail server, his content management server, and he has a proxy where he saves local copies of the most common websites or the ones that you visited regularly. So there's always a start point in a proxy to find the website what you want to see from the core internet. Also, he has a DNS server. This is a kind of phone book where he look up the IP address of the server that you want to reach. So you key in your browser, for example, youtube.com, but the youtube.com server has a unique IP address, which is not common to know. So just to help you to find this connection, the DNS server looks up in the phone book, YouTube is on IP address 88 something, and then he guides you to this server so that you can see the content. Also, the local proxy of your provider has a basic copy of your fast and often read videos so that he can offer you already an index of the page at the beginning. So this is also a reason why a fresh uploaded video is not available everywhere in the world. Only, for example, to subscribers. Speaking about that, you should subscribe to this channel and also follow us on Facebook so that you do not miss any of our episodes. Then you would see this video much earlier than any other in the world who has, for example, not subscribed to the channel. That's an advantage. One moment, excuse me. Hello? No, I don't think it's possible that you deleted the internet. Let me tell you why. Deleting the internet is nearly impossible. If you don't have a connection, it looks like you have no data to see, but the data on the data center and the core internet are backed up several times among several centers in the world using the fiber cables, so it's impossible. If one data center fails or is destroyed, then any other data center, even from other companies, have taken over the content of that data center and it can be recovered in a very short time. Possibly the proxy server of your provider has already a copy of that data center, most actual available. And over a very short time, the data will be recovered and is accessible again. But the only thing that can happen is that your country has decided to eliminate the connection to a specific social network, for example Facebook, and that takes place also in the provider level. That means your provider's DNS server has simply deleted the information on what IP address is my Facebook available. So no DNS, no proxy can see the link to the core internet showing that Facebook site. How can you avoid that? Using a VPN. So if you connect a VPN tunnel from your home to another provider on the world, for example, if you are located in Spain, you want to have a look at your Amazon videos or your Netflix videos, but they are not allowed to be played in Spain because of copyright reasons. You connect to your home provider, and then it looks like for Amazon or for Netflix that you are connecting from your home and the videos are enabled. So using a VPN takes over restrictions that are on local providers level and overrides that, because your IP address with which you are connecting to the internet looks like you are at home. Following the SP and host area, you have a structure following with Ethernet cable, fiber cable, and also radio connection that connects to your home. During this transportation, the provider uses TCP/IP for IP packaging, of course, the HTTPS for websites, and the RTP protocol for phone and conference systems. IP is a reasonable reason because every device in the network, in the internet, has a unique IP address. To find the connection between, for example, the server and your home computer, there must be a route between these IP addresses. They can change in various ways, and that's all about your provider that has to link this together. So where can it go wrong? If you have no access to the authentication server of your provider, that's the first point where your internet connection misses. So if you have to pay, for example, for an abonnement on broadband, you need a username and a password, and this must be given to the authentication server of your internet provider to grant access to the internet. That doesn't matter which kind of media you're using, but it's also a speed thing that makes it complicated if your connection is not fast enough. For example, the provider can have a cabinet that's connected to your next home using fiber glasses. That's a very quick connection. But then from your home to your nearest connection, it's only copper cable. So the connection then is VDSL. VDSL can be up to 1000 megabit per second because it's a vectoring system, and it is of course fast, but not the fastest. If the cabinets among are only connected with a copper cable, then you have a DSL connection. So the distance between these two cabinets and your home, the longer, the worse it is. Better would be to have a radio connection like LTE, 3 or 4G, and the fastest one is 5G, where we also offer new products that are directly connected between the antenna of your provider and your home router, and the connection is mostly fast using the 5G. The optimized connection is of course fiber to the home. That means your provider has a cabinet that is connected with fiberglass and then directly connects to your home, so you have the fastest connection that can be megabyte speed, up and download. Of course, very fast. So the analog network is normally using a modem that is connecting to a dial-in point, and the dial-in point then connects to the internet provider, but this is so old-fashioned that won't be used anymore. The normal connection is done by LTE or by radio connection, and this is most fast, up to 5G. And then on your home network, there could be, of course, a problem if your wireless is not strong enough to have the connection, or your internet is blocked by a device like a firewall. If you are in a company network or a hotel network, that could be blocked because you're using a website that is not authorized to reach, and that can also disconnect you from the internet. But let's see how these networks look in the example for a company and home network. Your typical home network usually consists of a wireless router provided by the provider. Many users opt for an additional device or a better router. In this case, the first router should be replaced or switched to bridge mode via configuration. You can find information on this on your provider's knowledge database, or if it's a Zyxel product, on support.zyxel.eu. To get better coverage and use higher bandwidth applications, I recommend using a 2.4 and 5 GHz Wi-Fi router. Here is a configuration with Zyxel products. The Multi-M1 serves all LAN clients on the ports that are connected with a cable and additional wireless devices via the powerful 5 GHz. For instant areas in the same building, you can use power line adapters or lay on LAN cables. If many devices are to be operated, another Multi-M1 is recommended. Otherwise, a simple repeater such as the WRE6605 is sufficient. A very helpful tool is the multi-app, which you can use to measure Wi-Fi reception. In a company network, the problems with the connection can be similar to those in a home network, but there's often an additional strong firewall. The IT department can control certain services and access here. So if you see the access denied message after visiting a web page, it's because the IT department has blocked that access. A foreign device such as your mobile phone could also be the blocked one and must be activated before use. This prevents the outbreak of malware in the network. Depending on the size of the network, a VLAN configuration can be set up so that you cannot simply connect every receiver device to a network port. For company networks, the following applies. You need the approval of the IT department before connecting. Access to the internet via the LTE or 5G network is an alternative to slow internet via cable for companies. When used by many devices, access may be slower at certain times. Move high bandwidth activities to a less busy time period. In a campus or a hotel network, a large number of devices need the network infrastructure. If you're having trouble accessing it, it could be because you need an access code to participate in the network. An access point is already full occupied and cannot accommodate any further devices. The site's internet access is currently busy with a lot of data traffic and is only responding hesitantly. The firewall recognizes your request as threatening and denies access. You plugged yourself into something that shouldn't be done unless specifically allowed. If you still have a question, ask Ellie and write it down in the comment segment and Ellie will answer it for you. So now we have seen different networks and the opportunity how you can connect to the internet using specific products. If you are interested, just download the product overview from the Zyxel internet page or ask your reseller to hand over this brochure. It's a very big poster that shows on one side all products that are currently in the range, and on the other side it shows the network graphics that I showed you just before. So if you want to see specific products, then have a look at this channel. I have introduced some of the products already before in specific videos. And also you can subscribe to the channel, of course, and follow us on Facebook so that you do not miss any of our episodes. Thank you very much for watching and have a nice day.
We're Zyxel, and we're your networking ally.